We're on.
and I got a cough.
That was
High
great.
production value. Wow.
It's just like something got cut on my throat. Right, I was trying to do. I'm like,
Well played.
I guess
We're that good.
we are that good. Hello and welcome everyone to Geek Bites, a podcast by a few geeks just trying to be heard in a world now flooded with geeks. This is your host, aka or John Guzman, aka Loktar. My claim to fame in the geek world is being the guild leader of Reloaded Whisperwind. With me tonight, I have a special guest, but let me introduce this two other dudes so I can actually talk about our guests. So, with us tonight, as always, Mr. Morph, the bartender for the zombie apocalypse. Are you drinking?
I'm just drinking water tonight.
All right, so he doesn't count.
That's
And
why your
Miss-
browser crashed.
Yeah, that probably is because I haven't gone through 3 beers already.
There you go. And the other corner of this crazy triangle, Mr. Kip, a man boldly going from the couch to the kitchen and back again. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Not bad. Are you drinking?
Water.
Well, I am drinking a Coke and I'm actually like thinking about spiking it. But we have a very special guest tonight. Is going to be her second appearance on Geek Vice, Isabel Tori. You might know her from the very first female guest in our show. She's also a romance author with a flair. She has written such hit novels as To Wish Upon a Roman, which was actually being released right before we had her on our podcast last time, and now it's been out and it's been rumbling through the novel world and doing awesome. And her other, well, one of her other books is King of Hearts, and she has many, many more. So welcome, Isabel Tori, to our podcast.
Hi, everybody. I know, corny.
No,
Well,
it's
you're saying
cool.
hi to like 3 people, so I mean that's really it.
It's more than 2, so it's everybody.
Oh,
Boom.
I am
pulled out-
the master of words.
she pulled out the
True.
English on you, man.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. I think English is my second language.
Yeah, was the first stupidity.
Probably. That's
Sarcasm.
the answer. Sarcasm. Pure
We-
annoyance.
Oh, that's my first. So, we did have somebody else slated to come with us tonight. Ish, one of her friends, and let's go ahead and plug her books as well. She couldn't make it today for unforeseen reasons that she couldn't plan for and couldn't be here, but she describes herself as 10 gallons of crazy in a 5-gallon jar. I really was looking forward to making fun of that, but now I can't.
Oh, yeah, you guys don't know what you're missing. I am so bummed that she's not here. She is just awesome.
But if you want to find more information about her, we're going to provide you links as well. Even though she didn't come, maybe she'll come eventually. We never know. But
Yeah.
she a couple of her books are Timeless Night and Timeless Desire. So
Dum.
she actually has an award-winning New Camelot series, as well as many others, and she's making her first appearance in Geek Vice, or she was going to. Maybe eventually she will. So, sorry we miss you, Tori James, and we wish you success and many clicks from the links that we provide.
We'll have to bribe her to get her to come on.
Yeah, I'll leave that up to you. I don't know what you could do with that, but sure.
She loves chocolate. Just give her
I was
chocolate.
gonna say
Do anything.
chocolate and Dr. Pepper is what her bio said, so I'm pretty sure I can convince her to come on.
All right. Well, there you go. I didn't see you as the convincing type, but hey, you can always surprise. You actually read her bio. You never read my bio.
No, I still don't know what you do here.
Obviously, not much.
That's
you
okay.
line us-
Nobody really does.
I was gonna say you line us up with some guests, so it's more than the rest of us do.
Sometimes, I guess sometimes when I'm not late and when I'm not coughing at the beginning of the intro. But anyway, we're very happy that you're here again, Ish, and we have some topics, and we'll definitely want your opinion if you have any opinion on them. Hopefully you do, and hopefully it's opposing to us. But before we get on, so tell us more. How did your novel do? What have you been up to?
Well, it actually started off pretty slow. I was an unknown author, of course, really out there, so it was a little slow at first, and then it got entered into a cover contest. And from there, it just took off. My Amazon rankings went up like crazy. And people were like, oh, hey, that guy's hot, I guess. And I ended up winning the cover contest that month. So I am a featured author on Lali Tova's site for this month.
Wow, very nice. Well, he did have kind of a Enrique Iglesias look-alike type of face, and you can probably check it out on our Facebook page where we would put links to her page.
Yeah, if our producer didn't suck. Oh wait, that's me.
They will show up. We're working on some promo stuff to put up there, or at least I'm working on some promo stuff to put up there between now when we're recording and when this episode's actually released. So
Yeah. So I'm actually, yeah, that's true. We are gonna have time between taping and release, unless we have people listening right now, which they can. So if you want to put a link right now on your Facebook, they can actually listen to the show as it's being recorded. But I do have an excuse for not doing more. I was actually out of town, hating on San Francisco because the traffic there is just stupid.
yeah. Uh-huh.
They charge you to get into the city, but you can get out for free, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Because you have to use bridges to get into the actual city, unless you go like an hour and a half south, and it's like $6 in one bridge, and then $4 to get into the city. But then to get out is free. So you pay to stay in traffic for like an hour to get into the stupid city.
That's ridiculous.
So if you drive into the city in reverse, can you get in for free? It would just say, no, I'm leaving.
I would not try it in that bridge, but if you can, let me know and I'll tape it.
But, that's not really a bad idea. It's kind of smart business if you think about it. You have to pay to get into the city to do your business, and then they want you to leave so you can pay to get back into the city.
Right. It's I'm pretty sure they make bank because I actually have a couple of pictures. $4 in one of them and then $6 in the other one, and the amount of cars that went through, like I thought, once I pay this stupid toll, I'm like, it's gonna be smooth sailing. Nope, the whole bridge was just backed up, and this was, and I tried to time it so that like traffic was down. Nope, didn't make a difference. Stupid, stuck in traffic. Don't like it. I've been to a lot of other cities where there's traffic, and I thought it was bad. This was worse. Way worse. But
I've never been there and don't plan on ever going. Well, eventually I guess I'll probably go, but
yeah, I mean, it was okay. I wasn't impressed, but I'm not impressed with California.
Yeah, California, there's just, I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot there that I'd want to go for, so.
Well, they call it the land of fruits and nuts.
There's probably a lot of nuts there.
And fruits. I did have a lot of fresh fruit.
Nice cover.
If I'm gonna go West Coast, I think I might go northwest and go like Seattle, Portland.
That I haven't done, but I do want to do it. I
I've heard
definitely
those
want to
places
go up there.
are cool.
I've heard
Seattle
that.
does rock. I like Seattle a lot.
I haven't been there, but it's definitely on my list to do or to go or to visit. So Ish, what have you been doing besides promoting your book and selling copies and winning contests?
Well, I've spent a lot of time writing other books, I guess. Up to 5 titles now. 3 are actually released. 2 are waiting to be released.
Wow.
One this month, and then one in December, which is just my favorite so far.
Really, what do you like about it?
It's a paranormal. It's called Sins of an Angel, and I made an angel sin like crazy.
Oh, that sounds
I hope they
kinky.
make this into a movie.
Actually, didn't
It's gonna be on.
Merlin have a ghost that you wanted to do some despicable things to?
Shut
That was
up.
Morph. Morph loved that alien.
Nobody liked the blue alien.
Was it a ghost or an alien?
It was an
Alien.
alien.
And why did it turn you on again?
It didn't turn me on. It was awful. It was the worst part about that TV show.
Oh, you're so easy.
I know. I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. What do you want?
Oh, the fun to be had. The fun to be had.
Wait, I want to know what show this is.
It's the
Merlin.
it's a show on the BBC, or used to be on the BBC. Now it's already run its course. You can find it on Netflix. It's called Merlin, and it runs for about 5 seasons, I believe. And I want to say, I'm trying to remember off the top of the head. I think it's the end of the 4th season or middle of the 4th season that this they needed a MacGuffin to kind of help move the story along, to give Merlin information. And instead of doing it in some normal, sensical way, they had him see a blue alien. And it was not like one of the... No, it was the, like, almost kind of like E.T. type, like gigantic, really thin, big head, glowed blue, and it was... And the whole show, Merlin, is about Merlin. You know, it's about Merlin as a boy trying to save King Arthur. You know, it's a whole... It's
I can't believe a show called Merlin is about Merlin. That is just amazing.
What?
You are such a worse man.
No.
You should write a book.
I really shouldn't.
See Spot run. Spot is running.
You know, children need to read too.
I think I need to go get a beer. Maybe I'll actually be able to form sentences with alcohol in my bloodstream.
Coherence just doesn't work for you.
Apparently not. But yeah, the whole Merlin show is a medieval type show. So why they have an alien?
I'm gonna take a
so.
wild guess, and I'm gonna say that Ish does know who Merlin is.
Yeah, I believe it. Ish, do you know who Merlin is? Come on, help me out here.
I know who Merlin is now that
See?
you've mentioned it, but wasn't he talking to a dragon in a cave or something at one point?
Yes.
Okay. Well, why would they bring an alien? He was talking to a dragon.
I think that's the point.
I think they didn't need an alien. The alien was dumb and didn't make any sense.
We never determined that he was an alien, though, did we?
Well, what else could he have been? He
He
looked
could've
like
been-
an alien.
It could have been a blue glowy thingy, like I don't know, an earth crystal that had a, I don't know. I didn't watch that episode, so I don't know. I'm just making shit up. Isn't that part of the show?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Isn't
Yeah,
that the entire show?
pretty much. Oh,
You know, Isabel's not even real. We made her up. So
yeah.
So basically, what you're implying with that is that one of us writes these kinds of novels. I wonder, do you think there are any men that actually write this type of novels, or would men just be so clueless that they wouldn't be able to write them?
Oh, absolutely, men write these novels. I actually know a few male authors that are from Breathless Press, and one of them writes lesbian romance.
What?
So, exactly. He's
What?
great, though. Just excellent.
I want to meet that guy and high five him. That's
So, I mean, yeah, men. There's several men at Breathless Press alone that write romance, and they are pretty fantastic.
Really?
well, that's all
Yeah.
guys think about, so it makes sense.
So and no, I was not looking for porn because I know that's where you're going.
Yes, you were.
I was reading an article and then I clicked on this link and it eventually took me to this little video of some dude peddling like ways to pick up chicks, and out of curiosity, I clicked on it just because it was curiosity. It's not like I'm trying to pick up chicks.
You're doing
as,
a
my,
different whole.
as my woman takes a look at me. But anyway, so the whole thing, the reason that I'm bringing it up anyway is because the link talked about, the guy supposedly is rich and good looking and blah blah blah, but he couldn't talk to women or they wouldn't listen to him, and he basically said that that he started reading romance novels, and that romance novels are all about idealizing relationships, as in making the guy seem like almost like an unattainable kind of thing. So like an unattainable guy that becomes attainable, then that's basically the formula, and that if you do that in a relationship, that basically that works. And it was just really interesting that somebody would simplify it that way, and because it sounds almost sexist to me. What do you think, Ish?
That the male is unattainable?
Right.
No, generally it's actually the female most often that is just running away because she's like, no, I don't want to be owned or whatever. She is usually the one that has the reservation because, as you said, men, they like sex. So the first thing they're drawn to is, wow, that's a hot woman. I'm going to pound that. But women are like, oh my God, no, So no, I don't think it goes that way at all.
You just got right to it. I'm gonna pound that.
Right. That's right. You're gonna pound that.
I think that should be the name of our episode. I'm gonna pound that.
Oh my God, that would be so awesome.
Writing it down right now.
Actually, if going back to my very favorite novel of all is by Virginia Henley. She doesn't write much anymore, but she had her heyday. But her hero was just wanted the heroine so bad, but when he finally got her, she turned out to be just like a holy terror because she was a spoiled little princess kind of thing. And at one point, he actually smacks her, and I was like, oh, hell no. But I mean, he smacks her for swearing, and she's doing everything she can to run away from him because she does not want to be married to him. And it was set during medieval times where, women just didn't have a freaking choice.
Oh, jeez.
So, I mean, once again, that's the woman that's running away, But I did read one novel, and it stuck to me to this day, that the male was the one being like, no, I can't, because he was being threatened by the higher-ups, like, hey, if you touch her, we're going to cut you, we're going to cut you up and stuff. So, I mean, but very rarely do you see that.
Interesting. And do you find some of those themes sexist at all? I mean, as a woman author, do you think that that's a sexist thing? Because we have a hard time, as males sometimes understanding that aspect of it.
Well, it depends. Once again, going back to what you're reading, if you are reading a historical romance, of course it's going to seem sexist, especially on the female part. Historically, females were get in the kitchen, have my babies. So, I mean, that's going to be expected in this type of romance. However, when you come to the contemporary romances of, modern times, no, you better not be smacking my ass and telling me to make you a sandwich. That is sexist. So, I mean, it just depends on what you're reading, if it's acceptable.
I need a sandwich.
You're not going to get to pound on that. Interesting, but it was just really weird. It almost reminded me of that crazy dude that went off and murdered those people or killed some people in California. I don't even remember what his name was, because it had that same mentality of, you can basically own women if you talk about this, or if you set it up this way, and if you set up this many dates this way. I'm gonna have to find it so that you guys can see it, not because I want to promote it, but because it was really bizarre, like one of the most bizarre that I've seen, like in the last couple of weeks at least. Thank internet.
Believe it or not, you found something bizarre on the internet.
I know, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
First time ever.
But anyway, we do have some more topics to discuss with you, Ish, but we're gonna bore you with our roundtables for the day, so that we can kind of keep a format.
Okay, bore away.
So I'm gonna pick on Mr. Kip first because he's the first one in line, and he has a review of how Gotham is going after 2 episodes.
I'm liking it. Okay, review's over. I'm just kidding.
He's got away with words too.
I am a wordsmithy. Read reviews, and we recorded the first 2 episodes, and I read a bunch of reviews before I even sat down and watched the first one. And none of the reviews were all that flattering. They really did not like the Ben McKenzie being Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, Detective Gordon, whatever the hell he is at this point. So I came in with low expectations. Maybe that's why I liked it as much as I did. But after the first episode, and it's like, you know what, I really am liking this. Let's see if they can carry it on to the second episode. Watch the second episode, and it was just as good. The guy who plays the Penguin, can't think of his name right now, he is fantastic. It's got Jada Pinkett Smith, which I'm not a big fan of, but she's really good in this.
What? How is Catwoman in there? Isn't that breaking some kind of law right there?
No, Catwoman's in it, but she doesn't play Catwoman.
Catwoman's
Really?
not in it.
Selena
That was really
Kyle.
scary.
Well, yeah.
Selena Kyle is in it. There's no Catwoman. There's no Batman in this show.
Really? Gotham doesn't have a Batman?
Nope.
Well,
it has
they've got a Bruce Wayne,
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
but
But
he's
it's-
like 8 years old or
Yeah,
something.
So he's not Batman yet, but he's going to be.
He won't be in the TV show.
What?
They can't. No, they're not gonna. They're gonna run Gotham. If they're gonna run Gotham very similar to what they did with Smallville. They're trying to recreate what they had with Smallville, where Smallville was about Superman, but he was never called Superman. He never wore the cape and the tights. He wasn't. It was more about him and his interaction with the other people. They had all kinds of other cameos of different superheroes and supervillains and that kind of stuff in Smallville, but it wasn't about him being super. It was just about him doing good things. And I think they're going to try to recreate that with Gotham, and doing it, instead of doing it from the Batman side of things, they're going to do it from the Gordon side of things and make it more of a like a crime drama type thing.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do with Gotham is show you how bad that city needed Batman. And the only decent cop, of course, is Detective Gordon. So I think it's just trying to set up the whole Batman was necessary because they just needed him. I mean, they're really making this city corrupt at all levels. And I think that's going to be the whole thrust of the TV show. I get to use the word thrust because Isabel's on the show.
One of my
And-
favorite words.
But I think that's what it's all about, is let's just show how bad things got before Batman and Commissioner Gordon worked to clean things up.
So 2 episodes in, you definitely recommend it then.
I do recommend it, and if you don't like it, then there's something wrong with you.
Well, I've got the first 3 episodes recorded because the 3rd episode came on today.
Today is Monday.
It came on a day. Maybe it was today.
It's today.
Okay, so the 3rd episode came on today. I've lost track of my days. It's been a crazy week. So,
And you're not even drinking. How
I
can it be
know.
a crazy weekend? It's just Monday.
well, because last week was crazy and the weekend was crazy, and therefore it's just kind of continued on. I haven't stopped moving. So,
I haven't seen you move yet.
Yeah, me neither.
is that enough moving for you?
Sure. Especially for the people that are listening to us in a
and there was-
podcast. You know, that really makes sense.
Do I narrate?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
need a play-by-play
We
ish.
need author prose on what the hell he just did.
And Morph flailed his arms frantically.
Well, there you go. Now we can sound like those old radio shows.
Yeah.
If I could talk, if I could get a word out.
the old radio dramas.
The old radio stuff. Did what's Agents of Shield start again? Are you guys
Yep.
watching it?
Oh God, yes.
All right,
Oh,
what do
God,
you think?
yes.
Ish? What do you think?
What do I think?
Because
Oh
I've
my
never actually heard a female say "Oh God, yes" before, so you've got to touch me.
Amber! Give her the headset.
Actually, no, because I don't know that will be bad for Amber or not.
I don't.
Well, today at lunchtime we decided that if he could work a three-way in, she would kick him out of bed and keep the girl.
You guys had lunch and didn't invite me?
It was a work co-worker lunch.
I was meeting with the old worker buddies,
Gotcha.
the old worker bees. But anyway, back to Agents of Shield. Ish, tell us what you think.
Oh my God, I love the show. I actually didn't start watching it when it first came out. I was just kind of looking for something to watch because I am a TV junkie at times, especially Netflix. But I found a site, I think Couch Tuner, and I was like, I'm going to give this a try because I do like a lot of the superhero kind of things. And when I found out who was playing Coulson after he was murderized in Thor, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna watch this, and I just fell in love with Skye in the beginning. She was just so awesome. She's smart. She's beautiful. She's a troublemaker. I mean, that's just the makings for a great heroine, really. And then it just, they brought in Grant and that whole little love story, which totally bummed me out when I found out he was not who he was supposed to be. So, like, now every time something happens in another show, I'll be like, oh my God, he was just Grant warded.
Nice.
He was warded, honey. So my husband's like, what? But now that it's come back, I'm, like, just dying because the new episode's coming this week. Yeah, tomorrow.
Yep.
And it's making it look like Simmons may not be good either, and I'm like, oh no, not Simmons too.
Yeah, the previews for the next one look pretty crazy. They are definitely ramping up the drama a lot more. They're not the first season, it seemed some of the answers that you thought were coming or some of the plot twists that you could kind of see coming, they stretched them out really far. This season, they're pretty much just going episode by episode, throwing stuff at you. And I kind of like it. I'm really enjoying this season a lot. So.
Oh gosh, yeah. One of the few shows that I actually watch on a week-to-week basis. Generally, the shows I watch, like Falling Skies, Game of Thrones, all that, I actually let them accumulate several episodes before I start watching them.
Yeah.
Just so I can watch a few at a time. But this is the one that I watch every week faithfully.
Very cool.
Nice.
I would agree with that. I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the only show this season that I've started recording and I'm actually caught up on.
I am still about 4 episodes back in the first season.
What are you waiting for? You need an invitation?
It's not on Netflix. I'm not a pirate, so I'm just fucking stuck.
That's great.
You can go buy the DVDs. The DVDs are out. You need me to send you an Amazon link?
I would buy the DVDs if, like, Skye got naked or something, but other than that, I can't see a reason.
Fair enough.
And I thought we were going to stay away from porn today.
No, we're
I
not.
didn't say anything about porn. I just said naked.
We had porn in the opening dialogue with you.
This episode is called I'm Going to Pound That, so I think I'm okay saying this shit.
Yay, I named the episode.
That you did.
Yes.
So anyway, coming back to the non-porn world, actually we can turn this into porn as well.
Everything turns to porn eventually.
With you, it does for sure. So we actually a couple of episodes ago I couldn't record because my computer died. So I made the I don't like building computers, not because I don't know how to do it, but because there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I hate dust. Like I'm allergic to it. So, if I'm working on something dusty and then I touch my eye or something, it'll swell up and it's just not fun. And the other reason is that the computer cases tend to have sharp edges. And I don't know why, but they end up cutting my fingers. So since I don't want to, and you cannot really wear gloves either, like when you're working on a computer, because
I've
there's
got,
like
I've got a
tons
pair
of
of gloves.
tiny things.
Yeah, I've got a pair of gloves that actually look really good. They're a non-static, or ones that won't build up static, so they kind of help when you're working with computer stuff. But they actually have real fine, like they fit real tight, almost like a latex glove. So it's,
But it only has one finger.
Wow.
jeez.
Wow. So basically, he's got a condom for his finger. Anyway, so
But they work really good on working with small computer pieces. So I'll have to try to find the name brand of that. I'll send them.
yeah, send me an Amazon link since you seem to be wanting to rack up your Amazon points or something.
Too bad we should look into getting Amazon as a sponsor of this show. Maybe we'll actually be able to make some money.
Those fuckers should. As much shit as I buy from them.
But you can't. So I do have an Amazon account from like back when my blog was actually popular, and if you buy something with your own link, it doesn't count. Like they discount it. So
Oh, that sucks.
yeah, it does. It sucked. Like I was, making like 17 cents of whatever when I bought something,
Right.
and I had some going, and then like a couple of months after, it's like, oh, being deduced from whatever it was from your account, and it was all the stuff that I had bought myself through my link. I felt a little cheated.
So did
But
you
I-
get your computer built?
So, yeah, the story was that I was lazy. I did not want to build my own computer, right? So I went and, went to Micro Center and tried to, just talk to one of the dudes there and see if they had something moderately priced because I didn't want to spend a ton of money so that I could, record the show and, play WoW or whatever. And this guy told me about this and he told me that it had X video card, and I'm like, all right, that sounds like it should have enough power. And I brought it home, got it all set up, installed everything, and it was horrible. So I'm like, oh, God. So I had to break down, and I had to just go and buy the parts that I wanted to buy and buy a better video card and just, so I built a new computer. So my woman is like, oh, so you can actually build computers. I've heard people that say they do, but, this was the first time that she actually, seen it done. So funny enough, her computer has been acting up, but it started to act up even more so. So I actually spent this past weekend building a computer for her as well. So I built 2 computers in the past 2 weeks, even though I didn't want to.
So when she saw how well yours was working, did she pour like a Coke into hers? Is that why it was?
I would probably assume that, but her computer was actually messing up before even mine was. And after I took hers apart to replace, I found out what the culprit was, and it was the little heat sink that is connected to the processor has like a little, they call it like Arctic goo or whatever it's called. It's just something that that pulls away the heat from it. That had just like cracked and become something that shouldn't have become.
Yeah.
So
Is
that was
the
the
same
problem
shit
with her.
that causes Xbox 360s to do their red ring of death?
I don't know. It could be.
I
It was
think
something
it is.
similar to that. Yeah, the red ring of death was diagnosed as an overheating problem, so it was kind of I don't know that it was the gel on the heat sink that was causing it to, but yeah, it was an overheating problem.
Yeah, it could be because the processor needs a little heatsink to kind of work as a radiator. And now they have like fully enclosed radiators too. Like
Yeah.
I could actually install a water cooled thing for my processor, but I'm not overclocking anything, so we're good. I mean, nowadays, so the thing that used to suck was loading time on everything, but solid state drives are super cheap now. Like you can get a 250 for like $130. So I actually built a couple of pretty kick-ass machines, and I didn't spend a ton of money.
I say you put solid state drives in those new machines.
Yes, they both have solid state drives.
I've been looking at possibly getting one, but it's kind of hard to spend $130 on a 250 gig hard drive when I can get a 3 terabyte hard drive for $100.
But why? Why would you want 3 terabytes? I mean, if you want to store
Because I
information,
fill up a lot of space on there.
yeah, but
Porn takes room.
all you want, porn, of course. All you want on your solid state drive is your OS and whatever programs you run all the time. So, you
Well,
you
see,
wouldn't
I
put
was
like
gonna-
pictures or anything else.
Why not?
Because why would you need a picture in a solid state drive?
Because it will boot up faster because it doesn't have to spin. It doesn't have any mechanisms to go out. It's
Right, but your OS is what brings stuff up.
right. Well, I've already got stuff working on my.
I mean, how many pictures do you need to do your Spanky Vision? I mean,
I have a 2 terabyte hard drive that I'm gonna have to external hard drive that stores all my comic books, movies, TV shows on it.
right, and that's fine. You can
Visually,
still use
and-
it with a solid state drive, and then we don't have to wait like 20 minutes for you to reboot. I'm just saying
Yes.
you should get a solid state drive.
I am looking into it.
135. I think Ish fell asleep.
Oh no, just
Probably.
absorbing. I'm not very good at. I know how to run the computer, but as far as it breaking down, when it's time to fix it, I just say, "Hey, honey, I need a new computer." So that's how I fix my computer.
And how's your husband doing? I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, he's doing good, doing good. He's been playing World of Tanks for right now, just kind of hanging back until the expansion comes out for a while. But he's like all into this World of Tanks, and some days we don't even talk to him. We're just like, okay.
I've heard some people that play that. I think that's actually a free game, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You have you can play it, and then you have like a chance if you complete certain missions within a certain amount of time, you actually get free play to get the like the golden membership, which is like a paid account.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, he's like so mission oriented because if he can play for free, he's all for it.
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
It's one way to get people to keep coming back.
Yeah. Speaking of games, I did do something cool in the game. I didn't think I was going to do it, but there's this thing called challenge modes on World of Warcraft, which is basically a 5-man dungeon, but speed runs. And if you get it within a certain amount of time, so there's like bronze, silver, and gold. If you get all gold, you get like an extra set of gear that you can basically show off to other people that you've been able to complete this. And you also, which I was, that was cool to get, but what I really wanted was the mount. So I actually completed that today. I started yesterday and completed it today, so I'm actually happy that I did that. And now that I have the knowledge, I'll probably be able to take some people from my guild so that they can get at least their mount. I don't know if everybody will be able to get the golds, but definitely silvers are doable.
Oh, good. Awesome. I did it, like I said in the beginning, with my mage, but it was just too dang hard. We all thought we knew what we were doing, and come to find out nobody knew a damn thing. So we just kind of let it fall off.
So it's honestly more about having a solid strategy than anything else. So basically you gotta know which path you're gonna take, which trash you're gonna skip, and in some of them you actually use invisibility potions to skip sets of it. So there's 9 dungeons. Out of the 9 dungeons, I want to say there are 3 different sets of mobs that there's like over 10 or 15 mobs that you gotta kill at the same time that are really, really challenging. So you just pull them all, and then you kind of have to use stunts. Like, so, for example, if you bring a mage, you would put your frost ring down so that they will be frozen in place. So that would help. So it's more about coordinating that, almost like a mini raid than anything else. I don't think it's actually that difficult. The one thing is that if you do mess up, you have to kind of start from the beginning because otherwise you don't get gold.
Well, that
Some of
makes
the some of the timers are pretty tight. And nobody made a joke, huh?
we were all giggling.
I can't be the only one that makes off-color jokes. I'm waiting for you guys to step up.
Oh, come on now.
I
Tip,
I
you
put it
are
out there for
off-color
you to
guest.
take. I put it out there for you to take.
You're
I've
basically
heard
a
that
token.
There, is that better?
Better,
Yes.
much better.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so that's my geek WoW thing. The expansion should be a month from next week. So I think the next big patch of content for WoW is actually going to be coming out. I mean, I'm making a prediction here on the 14th of this month. So I think that's when they're going to drop the next patch with all the changes they're going to do in the game.
Oh, they've
So
already
you're-
got the. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're going to say something actually real.
Uh, they've already got the background patch loading the information, and that is a huge freaking patch. It's like 9 gigs. So
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. That's been going on for what, a week now. So I was
So,
thinking that maybe this week tomorrow.
so I would think that tomorrow maybe, but you know what makes me think that they're not gonna do it? That they just released um, a new version to the PTR, and the PTR is actually PTR stands for Public Test Realm. So basically, where you're doing the beta testing, and Landy is actually playing right now on the beta test right now, so that they have the beta test servers up with like a build that was just put out yesterday makes me think that they're probably still a week away.
I had a beta invite, and I actually played the first week it was out on the beta. But I didn't want to ruin the game for myself, so I made myself stop because I really don't want to have to level twice.
Oh, I'm like you. I will not, even if I get an invite, I won't touch it. But Landy loves questing, and she likes playing with it. I mean, she doesn't get bored on doing the same thing.
Sorry.
Nope. Nobody took it. You gotta make the joke
it
though.
wasn't me. It was not me.
I'm laughing because I hear Ish in the background laughing too.
Ah, what? All right, gigglers, go ahead. Now is your turn, Mr. Morph. What is not a lot happening last week?
I just didn't have. I was busy last week. I was swamped with stuff.
All right, we already heard that, and that's what people say when they don't do anything at work. So,
Well, it wasn't even so much work. It was just here at home. My wife was throwing a baby shower for a friend of ours on Saturday, and so she was busy all week. So it left me dealing with the kids, playing Mr. Mom a lot of the week, and so it didn't leave a whole lot of free time to do other things. But I did get a couple of things done. Saturday, I ended up watching the movie Wreck-It Ralph. Has anybody seen Wreck-It Ralph?
I really liked it.
I thought it was really good. It was kind of fun. It's, I believe it's one of Pixar's movies, or it's either
no,
Pixar or
it's
Disney.
DreamWorks, isn't
Is
it?
it? Oh, I don't think so. The animation didn't strike me as DreamWorks, but it could have been. I don't know. I should have looked it up before I.
I'm looking it up right now.
But the movie is about
It's
kind of the arcade machines. It's all about arcade characters. So you have all the Wreck-It Ralph is actually a character in a Fix-It Felix Jr. game. Almost kind of reminded me of Rampage. That monsters are tearing up the city, but instead of playing as the monsters, you're playing as this little Fix-It guy trying to fix things that Ralph is destroying. But the whole premise of the movie is that Ralph doesn't want to be a bad guy anymore. He wants to be a good guy. He's tired of not getting the gold medal. And so he kind of, they call it goes turbo. You find out that a character previously has jumped games because his game was not getting enough people playing it, so he jumps over to other games and ends up being the bad guy of the whole movie. It's a cute movie. I enjoyed more about watching the different the way they introduced different games that you saw. You know, back in the arcade world, there was they had Tapper, which is I don't know if anyone remembers that game where you had you were a bartender and you had to slide beers down to certain people. Well, I think it was root beers, but that was back when they could actually have kids be the bartender. The whole premise of that game was just moving a character up and down to different tables and sliding beers down the table to people who wanted them. And it was pretty lame, but...
Sounds like my senior prom.
Lame. And
no, just sliding people around and drinking beer.
Oh, I thought you were going to pound it.
I thought I was going to too, but
they had this neat little premise that after the arcade closes, all these video game characters would get on these little trains that would take them through the electrical cords to the power strip that is connected all these games, all these arcade machines together, and in there you could go to other games. You could just kind of hang out. It worked like a train station type thing. I thought that was kind of funny. And some of the out-of-order games, that's where the exiled characters went. So you got to see Q*bert hanging out in the train station, the Surge Protector / train station, because Q*bert hasn't been around in the arcade in forever. So I just thought that was kind of fun. It's not a movie for adults, but it's definitely geared towards kids, but it's not all bad. The other thing that I got to watch was I watched another episode of Doctor Who, and I know that nobody... Ish, are you a Doctor Who fan?
I am not, but I know a ton of authors, actually, and a lot of other people who are Whovians.
Yes.
Actually, Tori James, who was supposed to be here tonight, she is, whoa, crazy.
Oh, awesome. Well, now we're really going to have to get her on, because I watched, I'm still a couple episodes behind, but this episode is from this season. It's called Time Heist, and I thought it was really well done. It's kind of a cross between a memory mystery. I call that a memory mystery, kind of like what was the name of that movie? Memento. Anybody seen the movie Memento?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, but it's, the guy doesn't have a memory. He's trying to figure out what's going on and what's happened in his life because he has no short-term memory. So it's kind of one of those type things where none of the main characters can remember why they're doing this. They just know they're supposed to be robbing a bank. The most safe and secure bank in the universe. So it's kind of fun watching this, and you find out that they've gone back in time, and there's time travel involved, but you're trying to figure out why they're doing this as well as the characters, and so it's kind of fun to figure out. And it was really well done, and I think the best part about it is it was so well done. Some of these bank heist movies that you get are hour and a half, 2 hours long, and you still kind of look at it and go, man, it didn't really make any sense how they were doing this. This was a well-done bank heist movie, and it was done in less than an hour. Just one episode, and it's another one of the reasons why I think Doctor Who is a great TV show, because anyone, whether you knew about Doctor Who or not, could have turned on this episode, watched it, start to finish, and been done. You didn't need to know the hundreds of years of history that are in Doctor Who. You don't need to know anything about it. You just come in and enjoy the episode for what it is. And Doctor Who does that better than any American-produced TV show out there. So I recommend Doctor Who for everybody.
Nice. I'm gonna let it go and leave it alone. And let people enjoy their Doctor Who and not hate on it.
You just hate on it because it's smarter than you are, and you can't handle that.
I agree with you, Aaron. Everything you say is right.
Now you sound like my wife.
Yeah, because eventually you get to a point that you know that there is no reason to argue with you. There is no talking sense into you, so you just give up.
Well, Ish will at least agree with me that you should watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again. It's not quit hating on that TV show.
Oh, absolutely.
See?
I would watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again someday. The problem that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had is that, you know, it was getting
It
too
was smarter than
formulaic.
you were.
Well, you know, there's a lot of things that are smarter than I am, so, you know, including you.
That's right. You better believe it.
Oh yeah, I sit at home at night and I think, how can I be smarter than Aaron? You know, is there a book that I can read that I can, you know, that intellect is just, it baffles me. I mean, if I could only be like Aaron.
Most people do.
I know.
There can only be one.
If I could only be infatuated with blue aliens, you know, my life would be so much better. So, no, I do hate Doctor Who, and I still think it's campy, and I still think that people should not be wasting their times looking at a campy show that really doesn't do anything for anybody. But if you think that it can wrap up in one episode and change your life, go for it. I'll read a book.
Changed my life. I just thought it was really good.
Well,
If you,
sometimes campy is good, though.
Well, it's better than the TV shows that we get out now that are trying to be serious, but instead are just completely awful. You know,
like which one?
90% of the stuff that was on last season. I mean, anything other than Almost Human.
You see, and that's the thing. TV killed my heart when when Almost Human went off the air. I was like, I don't care about TV anymore.
Fair enough.
But I'll give Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. another chance here. I've been doing a lot of documentaries lately and trying to get myself smarter, you know, so I can catch up with Aaron's intellect here.
Just watch Doctor Who.
Yeah, that'll fix everything.
Oh, if that'll fix everything, no, I will not watch it. But anyway, we did bring somebody here to talk about their books, and you do have lots of new books. So let's go over the list of books that are coming up for you. I mean, you have King of Hearts, The Gift, To Have or to Hunt, and Sins of an Angel, which is the one that got Morph all hot and bother.
Well, it should. It should.
Yeah.
King of Hearts was actually written as an open call for Breathless Press's 5th-year birthday, and we all decided to have a theme of it, and it was an Alice in Wonderland through the looking glass kind of theme. So we all submitted short stories, to kind of follow upon that theme, and I ended up writing one about a detective who ends up going through a portal to meet the King of Hearts in Wonderland. And, you know, of course, she's all like, well, no, this ain't happening. But anyway, I can't give away too much because it really is a short story. It's about 7K words, so it doesn't take more than 45 minutes to read, but it did really, really well. The first week of its release, it actually hit the Amazon's bestseller list for category of mystery and suspense and
awesome.
romance and the top 100. It hit that a couple of times, and right now, actually, at the Breathless Press website, it's listed under a flirt because it's a short. It is still maintaining a number 7 rank on the bestsellers list out of 10. And it's
Wow.
been out for a while, so I mean, I guess it's just a detective, and it's actually a sweet romance. There's no sex in it whatsoever, so I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Oh, you just lost Kip.
You just blanked out, right?
I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back.
So did they do a compilation release for this since they did a call or no?
They did. They combined it all in a special edition hardback called Wonderland Tales, and it has 14 stories. Tori James actually included in it. Oh my God, that story I can't even. Wow, it's amazing. But I can't give that away because you have to read that. But yeah, there's 14 stories by 13 authors because Monica Corwin ended up writing 2 stories for it, which
They
are
both
excellent.
epic up.
Yeah, they're pretty. She's great at just suspense, makes you want to scream. So yeah, it's in hardback edition. So I mean, it's in print. So that's just awesome right there. I'm actually holding it in my hand just so I didn't, like mispronounce names or anything.
Awesome.
The Gift I had actually written before the Wonderland Tale, but it came out actually this month. So. Or last month, 9/26. It's actually about a married couple who is celebrating their 10th anniversary. My heroine Cheryl wants to just have this extravagant gift instead of the shirts and ties you normally get your spouse. So she has a nude portrait made of herself. Well, last minute regret has her going, oh my God, I can't give this to my husband. So. It's quite a sexy story. There's a bit of sex and foreplay as she's trying to distract him so she can hide this big-ass painting in the house. And it's actually quite comical, She's like, oh, my God, I'm going to throw it here. I'm going to throw it there. And she's trying to figure out a way to tell him, I don't have a gift for you. So hence the name The Gift.
Nice.
It's done pretty well, too, actually. It's done really well, especially on Amazon. It hasn't reached the bestseller list yet, but it's still doing well enough. Now, To Have Her to Haunt comes out this month. I don't have an exact date on it, but it is my first female story.
Ooh.
Yes, but I hate to disappoint you, Kip. It is a sweet romance. There's no actual physical sex.
That's okay. I've got a good imagination.
I leave it up for imagination, so it's okay. But it's my first female, and I'm very proud of it. So
you can still get to pound, right?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you can still pound in your imagination. See, but it features. It's a ghost story. It's a Halloween story. So it's based on. One heroine is Melanie, and she wants to basically prove that the Crow Mansion is not haunted, so she can use the land to expand their town. Well, guess what? It's haunted. And Leah's like, oh no, get the hell out of my house. And then she finds out Melanie can hear her and stuff. And, so it's actually quite comical too, because Leah's pulling pranks and trying to get her out of the house. And then, of course, romance happens. Because it is a romance story. So, yeah, I'm very proud of that one because I feel I expanded my horizons on that. I expanded my normal male-female and put female-female, which was hard for me because I am not a lesbian, so it really took a lot of effort.
I'm gonna let that go.
But yeah, well, it's hard when you don't know. Oh my God, see, it's hard. When you don't know the other side. But I actually had some great input from friends that I do have that are lesbian and bisexual. So I mean, that really helped a lot. And then there's Sins of an Angel coming in December. That is by far my favorite story so far. I love my angel Nayla. She is just awesome and innocent, and then she's exposed to sin. The poor thing kind of doesn't even realize it because she's an angel. So, but it has its steamy moments when she's starting to feel the human sins. It's 7 deadly sins is what the plot's based on.
Ooh. So. To give it the Kip review, does it have pounding or not?
It has pounding. Yes, he definitely pounds that. My hero Grant definitely pounds that.
There's got to be a rating system there somewhere that we give this
I'll
one more thrusts.
4.5 pounding.
So yeah, I mean they're very different stories, and actually two of them I wrote in first person. The Wonderland Tale, King of Hearts, is in first person, as well as The Gift, which was another thing that I'm kind of proud of because I changed my normal third person routine and did something totally new.
Awesome.
Very cool. So, and tell us, let's just talk a little bit again. You mentioned it already, but To Wish Upon a Roman got an award for its cover, and it got you a lot more exposure. So, how is that compared to actually, having people write reviews online?
Oh wow, it felt amazing. Thanks to my cover artist Victoria Miller. She's wonderful. She just makes the most extravagant covers. It's not the first time that a Breathless Breath title was up for the award. They just didn't win. So I mean, she was just ecstatic when we won, of course. But it's now people are like, oh my God, you won the cover, and it made people want to read the book because let's face it, the cover sells. It really does.
Oh yeah.
I went into a store a million times, and it's probably the greatest book ever, but if it has a crappy cover, I'm like, nope, I ain't even picking it up. So
Interesting.
So we have an author who judges a book by its cover. This is interesting.
yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. What a predicament I'm in, isn't it?
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
this
but-
dude isn't hot enough. I can't read this book. Sorry.
Well, exactly. What do you mean, flowers?
But do you think that kind of exposure, winning an award or something, especially based on your cover, is it more important than actual online reviews?
I don't think it's more important. It makes me feel great, obviously, because I did get exposure, but the reviews are what makes the author, don't think we're not looking. Don't think we're not trolling Facebook to see if anybody said anything. We're not trolling Amazon and Goodreads and Barnes and Noble because we like to see the praise. I mean, it's hard work. You don't write a book, short story, long story, whatever. It's not a 5-minute job. There's a lot of work I've learned that goes into it, not just the writing, but the editing and,
Well, I think that for Aaron, it's actually a 5-minute job.
No, it's only one.
well, that's
It
because
only
he's
takes
that
me
smart.
1 minute.
Because he watches Doctor Who. So, but I mean, it makes us feel great. It is important to us. It really is. It's kind of disheartening when you look and you're like, oh, there's no reviews. It really bums you out, even if we
What
get
about-
a bad review.
What about bad reviews? Have you gotten into it with somebody yet?
I have not, no. Although I did get a 3-star for King of Hearts, and they never left an actual physical review. They just left a star, and I'm just like, well, why? Even though 3 is actually a pretty decent review, that it's good. That means they finished the book for once. That's good. But you're kind of sitting there going, well, why did you give me only 3? what
Right,
did
yeah.
what did I do? But we learn from those reviews too. We do. If you tell us that the character banter was just too much or too ridiculous, we learn from that. It kind of motivates us.
Well, and do you think the reviews, like online reviews like that, or even the rating systems, that they have on Goodreads and Amazon, do you think that has any influence on publishers on whether or not they're going to give you another opportunity or not?
Speaking from what I've seen myself with Breathless Press, no, it does not. There's actually a little thing that they call it the Lone Star for the authors that have gotten a 1-star review for whatever reason. It's like a bragging right. I'm actually waiting for mine. So I mean, it's a bragging right, So,
I'll
but
get
no,
right on that.
we understand, at least I do, and I know several other authors understand that not everybody is going to like what you write. They're not.
Sure.
You can't please everybody. So, I mean, it's kind of like a rite of passage to get bad reviews, and I think publishers understand that because, once again, I had King of Hearts do really well before To Wish Upon a Roman won the award for the cover. and they still took my other stories, prior
Right.
to that when To Wish Upon a Roman wasn't doing so well at that time.
Cool.
Did I just hear a landline ring?
Dude, I know. I'm so old. I have a landline ring.
Was
Well,
that
not
a
only that, it
rotatory?
actually had the bell ring. That was pretty impressive.
Oh my God, no! That phone. We have the phone that was built into this house originally. You can't even move it off the little shelf that's built into it because it's part of the house.
Nice.
And that thing has probably been here since 1930, and it still freaking works.
Is it a rotary dial one?
It is, and it is heavy because you can pick it up just enough to dust under it, but you can't pull it out of the wall or anything.
Nice.
It's very nice. I'm actually kind of proud of that. So
That's awesome.
And it still works.
it still works very well.
Wow.
That's just cool. I like those things. I love the rotary dial phones. Don't call
Right.
for customer support though with them. They don't work.
My kids walk by it once in a while, and they're like, "Does that thing work? How does that work? How do you dial?"
Oh.
Well, see, with the rotary phone, you can dial your own phone number, and before the last click, you can hang up, and it'll ring. I used to do that to my mom when I was a kid.
Wow.
Hey, I lived in Yuma. I was bored.
Obviously.
That is awesome. I want to get a rotary phone just so I can try this. I just don't have a
Well,
lamp.
you gotta live in a town small enough that you've already prank called everybody, and you gotta prank call your own house.
Well, I lived in such a small town that you only had to dial the last 4 digits of the phone number.
Oh, so that's probably why it worked.
Yep, so I could just dial 5806, hang up, and our phone would ring, and I would leave, I'd immediately run like into the garage or something so Mom thinks she was the only one home.
Then she sits there, hello? Hello?
Hello. They
Hello?
called again.
If you had met my mom, you would have not been surprised that she did that.
Why do you keep calling me? Why is there no one there?
Did you ever tell her? Does she know you did this to her?
No.
She does now. She listens to our podcast.
But anyway, Ish. Now that you've been working with this press for, now $5, how do you feel about self-publication?
I think self-publication has its merits. It does, but there's a lot of things you're missing by publishing on your own. For one, an editor. You just don't realize how many little tiny mistakes you make throughout an entire manuscript until you have an editor that says, "Hey, you spelt that wrong," or do you believe in commas? So it does not matter how well you know the English language, you are still going to have typos. You are still going to have grammar mistakes, and an editor is wonderful at that, and that's one thing I've learned. I am so glad I did not take the route of self-publishing because I'd have looked like an idiot.
No, that's good. It's just like an extra line of defense, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, it used to be that it was, fairly complicated to get a publisher to look at your book or your manuscript, let alone actually publish it. Has it gotten a little bit easier to do that? I mean, what kind of troubles did you go through in just getting in with Breathless Press?
Oh, yeah, the pile of rejection letters are many. It's pretty high. It is easier to submit nowadays because a lot of publishers do take email submissions. So, you're not standing there at your mailbox all day, but they still pick and choose. I think it may be a little easier to get in simply because the submission process is, but I've had my share of rejections. I probably gained 10 pounds just eating ice cream because I was so depressed. I mean, they're not afraid to tell you, hey, this sucks, or, if we didn't like it.
Back.
No, they don't.
Well, and I kind of wonder if, that's why I was wondering that's why I put the question in the show notes about the self-publication, because my wife reads a lot of she reads a lot of romance novels, and I believe that your To Wish Upon a Roman is on her queue list for books to read. She's got
Yay.
like a few hundred of them. She'll get to it eventually. But they a lot of the books that she reads are people that are self-published, and she's, I don't know what her reasoning is for that. I think it's just because of the amount of them that are there, and and how cheap they are. That's another thing. Self-published title for 50 cents or 99 cents or something like that. It's kind of hard to pass up. But I was just wondering, all these self-publishers out there, this idea that you can just anybody can go write this anything, short story, book, whatever, whether it's good or bad, throw it on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. They'll put up just about anything as long as you pay them their fee, and then your book's out there, and all you got to do is promote it. And so I was wondering, if that affects how that affects people who are under a publisher, and if publishers, if you think publishers feel any pressure from that.
I think publishers do feel pressure from the self-publishing market, simply because it is a lot more competition. And you're right, self-published books tend to be cheaper. They do.
They have no overhead.
Well, exactly. And I've read plenty of self-published books myself, but I've also read books that were published by major publishing houses that, so a good book is a good book to me. I don't care if you self-publish it or if it comes from one of the top 5 publishers like Harlequin or Avon. A good book is a good book. But generally you don't find a lot of good books under self-published, and a lot of that is simply because of the editing process, is my opinion. There's ways that the editors help you tighten your sentences up. They help you condense. They take out the things that you think are important and then you don't need later on. So, I mean, a good book is a good book.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. I should read books.
You should.
He likes coloring in them, but
if they don't have pictures, they're just hard for me to read.
Picture books.
Could you imagine a romance novel with pictures?
Or pop-up.
Oh, yeah.
You can see the pounding.
It's a 3D digital book.
Well,
speaking of pop-ups and stuff, it reminds me of raising your hand. It reminds me more if you're the comic book guy. Breathless Press actually has an open call for superhero stories.
Oh, jeez.
When they announced that call, I was like, huh, I thought of you, actually. I'm like, it's like, superhero comic. Could I do it? But I'm afraid that I am not very superhero friendly. I love them, but all the good stuff's been done already. So
yeah,
I wouldn't sell yourself short. I mean, that might actually be better than somebody that knows all the comic books and have read them all. Just from being a fan and from being kind of on the, like, for example, what you were talking about, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that's kind of superhero-y, and Sky could have had a romance with whatever his name before he went evil. You could take that story and make it go forward and write something superhero-y. I totally think you could do it.
Well, exactly. Well, even all superheroes, if you actually think about it, every genre out there contains some kind of romance. Look at Superman. He's a superhero. He has a love interest. There is a minor romance in that story.
Yeah,
Yes,
there definitely is.
I was trying to find. There was a comic that I was actually going to recommend.
Vampirella?
No, well, you could, if that's Sure.
Well, goes with the theme,
Half-naked women.
and it's close to Halloween.
Oh, okay. No,
That's
the
a
one I was
stretch.
going to recommend for Ish to check out is called Superbia, and it is not a romance novel, however, or a romance comic, but it is a superhero comic that kind of deals with the kind of the housewives type take on it. These people, where these people live, and how they have to interact when they're not being superheroes. And it's written by Grace Randolph. But this thing I really like this series. This could be something that could help you. After reading this, you could turn this into a romance. You could take this type of idea that they've set forward here. I mean, they already have love triangles set up in this book, but obviously, it's a comic book, so it's geared different. But this could definitely help you break into or give you some ideas for a comic book type story.
Get the
Or
juices flowing.
superheroes, yeah.
Yeah, just, you can make it Batman is bad in bed, so his girlfriend turns to Robin,
The boy wonder.
the boy wonder.
He's the one that gets the pounding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, before we make more of an ass out of ourselves, I actually wanted to very quickly let you guys know that I'm going to take a hiatus from the podcast. So I'm going to leave you in good hands with Mr. Morph and Mr. Kip here for some time. And I have full confidence on them doing a lot of good stuff. So, and Ish, you're welcome to come. And Ish, you're welcome to reach out to them. You can reach at geekvice@gmail.com if you want to come and hang out again and you have some time. I'm pretty sure they'll be happy to have you as well.
Oh, yeah.
She probably doesn't want to come back. But that's
No, not if I get to keep naming the shows. I'll be back.
You see? There you go. Better than me. She's already doing more than I do. So, and also you guys can have Tori. So, you still have another opportunity to get another show going in there. But you can look for Isabel in Facebook. Just look for Isabel Tori, Tory, or you can actually look at her. She's got a WordPress.com blog, which is author Isabel Tori. .wordpress.com. So we'll put out a link to that as well. And you can find her at Twitter at Isabel Tori. So make sure that you go check out her stuff and, go get a couple of her books, have fun, enjoy it, get a glass of wine, draw a bath, and lose yourself.
And leave a review. Leave a review.
Oh, and there you go. Leave a review. She's still looking for that, 1-star review, right?
That's right. I'm waiting for it. Now, don't you guys go do it.
Never.
No, see, I'm easily entertained, so everything gets a 5-star with me.
All right, check out our blog, geekvice.blogspot.com. Follow us on Twitter at Geekvice, Google+, plug Geekvice, and Facebook. You search for the word Geekvice. You can follow Mr. Kip on Twitter at Kip Kilagan. You can follow me at Loktar. And Morph continues to be completely worthless because even our guests have Twitter, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
He says he's going to man the Geekvice Twitter account. We'll see how that works out for us.
I'm thinking about it. I gotta.
Ooh.
He's trying to get his feet wet.
That's wow.
Just his
That'll be
feet.
nice.
Just my feet. I only go ankle deep.
So
Go ahead.
Man,
I'm waiting for the joke
disappoint
there.
me. You disappoint me. And I'm sure you've heard that before.
I hear it all the time. Man, are you done already?
Wow. So your life is full of disappointment, huh?
No, my life's fine. Oh, wow, feedback. Oh.
That was you.
Oh, I thought it was me. I was going to go tell my husband I needed a new computer.
Wow. That was good. All right. I guess we can end now.
Yeah. thanks everybody for listening to our ramblings. And if you want to comment on anything we talked about, you can reach us at geekvice@gmail.com. And it looks like somebody's shaving a cat.
That's what it sounds like. I think Kip actually unplugged his mic and didn't even realize it.
Yep, he did. He's probably. Oh, it's him! Look at him.
I don't hear anything. So.
Yeah. Oh, he's not. Yeah, he's not hearing anything.
Oh, he broke his headset again.
Unplug the vibrator.
Oh no, that stays plugged in at all times.
God.
That thing's got a kickstand.
There's the Anal Intruder 3000. That's why he looks happy all the time.
That'll work.
If only we could hear him better.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's saying. I see the lips moving. You're getting.
Check your mic
giving us
cord.
feedback.
Can he hear us?
I think he can. Yeah, he can hear us.
We can't hear you very well. You're gonna have to edit all this out.
Yep. We hear a vibrator in the background. Oh, we know you're sitting on it. There.
Oh, it went away.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I think I may have just blown another set of headphones.
What is it with your head?
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that. Don't buy this brand of headphones.
You'd have like 5 nickels.
That's if I started off with 3.
Is that like the third one that you've broken?
Second one.
Ah, it sucks. I think we're still on the air, so somebody got to enjoy all of this.
Well, you can just edit all this out, or unless we have somebody listening live.
Enjoy
All right, let me.
is a relative term, I think.
Yeah.
Let me close it again. Thanks everybody for listening to our ramblings, and if you want to comment on anything we talked about or send us an email, you can reach us at geekvice@gmail.com.
See ya.
See ya. Bye.